Only Kevlars, only armor, no kits. No one even perhaps qualified to use a defuse kit, who knows? Sixer is the only man with any utility on the server at the moment. These players are geared to fight. Oh my god, that's disgusting. Just straight away, Happy is likely not a happy person at the moment. Immediately taken down. That's a big problem. Big problem. Sixer trying to push the issue departments there. Again, has full utility. Smoke grenade and 2 flashbangs at the moment. And ENVYUS are ready to burst out onto the A side of the map.
Go, go, go. That's the call. Or allez, allez, allez in French. RPK holding down the push through B banana, rather. Is that going to change the plans? Perhaps it will. The bomb being thrown over to a teammate, so Scream can hold down mid. And indeed, there is a second mid push coming in from Nico, so things are getting super weird. Rain on B on his own, but Alu is coming in from CT. There is a smoke onto Sixer, so he can isolate one player. But is there still uncertainty? Scream making his way into the lower area, but he can't get the kill. Nico's going to do that. Alu holding things down from construction for a brief moment, but the man advantage is now with the T's.
Nico makes his way in, looking for the headshots. 3 players to find, 2 are in construction. Kiyoshima will deal with that. He'll find the information. The double peek coming in. Actually, not a single bullet lands onto Kiyoshima somehow. That's very strange. He will die, though, in the end. It's XMS that makes the peek to kill him from quad position. The new boxes, and he will do the same treatment to Nico. So 1-0 start here for ENVYUS. Getting that pistol round under the belt. And the UMPs will be out in force. And speaking of forces, FaZe are going to have a force buy of their own to play with. Only Ali keeping money in the tank for an AWP later on. And these force buys are very scary to deal with if you're a T side. One of the better maps to have a CT force buy on.
Ooh. There's always a nice headshot angle towards the logs. But the logs have changed. The logs have changed. There are new logs. They look fresher, look less weathered than the previous logs. But the new logs have been chopped as well. That's as much as we're going to talk about logs today. 4 players with Kevlar for the CT side. Alu, just a P250. He is saving for a rainy day. Literally nothing is happening right now. Something has happened. A flashbang was thrown. Envy slowly emerging into apartments. Not terribly concerned with the close range. They've got the numbers advantage. And again, the apps aren't what they used to be. Still close quarters, though. Nobody found there. So now Envy needs to identify where exactly the CTs are. Have they stacked one of these 2 sites? 40 seconds, though. Running out of time to find this out. No Molotovs for whichever site they choose to push. They do have a few flashbangs and 1 smoke now that they've deployed a bunch, but they are going to have to force their way through. And again, just rotating back and forth. So it seems they're just trying to give sound cues to the CTs over towards B. But now they've got 20 seconds, and they're not even on arch or short just yet.
Making their way onto the site now, finally. Kiyoshima lurking. That's a nice first frag. Looking for another one, but he can't get it. A flying Happy will take him down. And it just is Nico left, but not for too long. RPK deals with him 2-0. Was a bit scary for a while. Some things could have gone wrong there, but they managed to only lose a single player and win the rounds. So FaZe with the full save. Always fun. Only USPs.
Ali's ready for the AWP on the next round. Got his 3450 in the bank. He's been a good boy. He hasn't smashed his piggy bank. Did you ever have a piggy bank, Dan?
Actually, at one point I did, I think.
Was it a pig-shaped piggy bank?
It
Because,
was, yeah.
you know,
like a pig, yeah.
Piggy bank has evolved to anything that holds money, essentially.
It was a pig, yeah.
My current piggy bank is a traffic light. Not, I mean, one of the ones for like temporary construction, you know, like a lamp with the battery removed. I'm glad we had this chat. It's better that way because then you can just throw money in as opposed to putting it in a small slot, which is just tedious. I have no such time for tedium. That's a great way to start the rounds. But still a slow approach from the remainder. I mean, they could just make their way towards B and be done with it, but the 4 versus 1 will be a slow one. A very slow one indeed. Scream. He's got 45 HP, so he's out there with his AK. And the cleanup will finally begin, and now we get to see Alu on the AWP. Pistol round lost for FaZe, so this is a very important one. It's a reasonable spawn Alu has, not the best one if he wants to go for a peek towards mid. You don't really see that so often now on New Inferno. It does feel riskier and more difficult.
That's kind of nuts actually, RPK getting those frags because he actually had 4 players on screen at one point. 4 players shooting him on screen. He still gets 3. That's pretty cool. Look how fast they are, and indeed the lack of helmets is going to be a great problem with these MAC-10s still alive. And they're moving so quickly. Alu perhaps can't afford to miss that shot as the T's get closer and closer to the A-bomb site, surrounding the position now, and they will just have to play off the site itself, and that doesn't leave them any place to fall back to now. So Alu could just get 1 shot before he's shot in the face himself. So there's 1 shot from Alu. No trace coming in. They try, but Nico's covering him. It's actually going really well somehow for the FaZe clan. Yeah,
I mean, Envy were in such a good spot. But it's not over yet. It's 1 versus 2. Happy is looking for an upgrade, which he will finally get. Well, a UMP from a UMP. But there's an AWP around there somewhere. He's trying to buy time. But in the meantime, Carrigan, he's not going to wait around. He's moving slowly towards short again. Happy giving up his position with those grenades. And the end of the round will be easy. They wonder where the AWP is. So the AWP is right next to him. I doubt he saw it there. I'm sure he would have picked it up.
Already we see an adjustment from ENVYUS compared to yesterday. First gun round, very aggressive play towards the bomb site early on, disregarding banana completely. It was the area of the map they were struggling to control yesterday, and still a good enough round for them. They inflict a lot of damage, they have a very healthy buy, and they have the opportunity to reset FaZe. And again, they do not go for any banana control early on. Solely RPK down at T stairs. But now they're taking things more slowly, methodically clearing out apartments.
They had a player in C2 spawn for such a long time in the previous round, but with a max 10, I believe, weren't able to really get as many results as you might think. But indeed, they are on the buy. Better buy with the full AKs this time. Moving up top mid. XMS was picked off the roof.
Yeah, they've successfully pushed FaZe back onto the A-bomb site. They did lose a player in doing so, but that can be okay. The only real issue is that they don't have banana control, because that essentially just tells FaZe everything. It's like, okay, at this point, you have to go A. Like right at this point, because they have all the vision of banana. So into A they go, and that's where 4 players are essentially for FaZe. Although now they double back, but again, you've got Ali there with the AWP. They've got to best team. He's got an incendiary too, so we can fire a shot, maybe get a kill, then throw an incendiary. Then they're down to 3 players. The delay comes in. There's one. Doesn't have a chance actually. Misses the shot onto Scream as he jumps across. Nico is in position though, and he will make a lot of damage there onto the offensive ENVYUS. And they can't quite cross in time. And you can see that the problem in having Alu, even in a one and done position, it's still just too much. They need to have pushed him further back.
That was even with Alu being a bit too aggressive, going for that re-peek. He could have made it back to the bomb site, but even with that, such a forward position, as soon as he makes the call, that's more than enough time for the rest of the team to rotate. And same issue ENVYUS had yesterday in their game versus Astralis, repeats itself. Now they're on a half-buy, Tech 9, Deagle, P250. Wanted to go for that apps explosion, but the incendiary halts it for now.
I like Nico's repositioning after his first kill as well. Taking an off angle, waiting for somebody to pre-fire, and even better news when it was the AWP, which put the AWP in a very nasty spot. 1 minute 10 on the clock. Again, Envy charging through, trying to force the CTs back or force them into a close range engagement. Either one might be favorable for Envy at this point, but this crossfire definitely won't be. They're lining up for Karrigan, and they've got a crossfire that's happy alone, so no kills in that round. On to the next one. Post-pistol round, it's looking good for FaZe, 3 from 3. Envy will return to the buy. XMS opting for the UMP to get full grenades. RPK's got a pretty forward spawn. I do wonder if he will consider taking that towards B. I mean, partly depends on what is happening in terms of grenades and such from the CT side. So he'll just try to stop Alu from making it towards the car position, but he'll have a look anyway. And now he's down to 26 HP and is very susceptible to grenades.
And the wallbanging attempts potentially, it's quite crazy to be down so low so early. And I did wonder whether the ENVYUS would actually try to pressure Banana more this round. Maybe get a pick off, maybe put someone very deep, so that the same situation as what happened in their previous buy round wouldn't happen this one. But they have no presence there just yet. Just want someone watching the flank should the CTs get very aggressive. So ENVYUS, once again in a position to take top mid, but again, they will find themselves in exactly the same spot. They're going to have to run into Alu on Banana if they decide that things on top mid or towards A aren't looking too good and they want to double back. So will this play out exactly the same way? And will they push into A this time?
They've got 45 seconds with which to decide, and 2 flashbangs, both of which are on 1 player. So it's not going to be easy. RPK running around the corner. That's a great surprise shot from Alu. Now they've got no eyes on Banana. 35 seconds, and it seems A will be the play. Happy moving back into apartments again. Now they've got 1 flashbang and 2 smokes, so perhaps he can drop it out of apartments as they go for a push. Sending screams towards the arch position. 3 CTs here. Kiyashima with an off angle, and there's 2 arch players can quickly come in for support. Happy trying to pick off one of these players, but it's not going to happen. Again, not a single kill for Envy. FaZe picking them apart and doing nothing but building money on the CT side.
Kind of the same problem there again. ENVYUS, they wanted to take top mid, go back Banana, but then it's like, oh, Alu's there. That smoke, that deep smoke didn't solve the problem. He can be boosted over the smoke. So I feel as though the real adjustment there, and how you feel about it, Yanko, is actually to take Banana away from the CTs entirely earlier on.
Absolutely. It doesn't even have to be very early on. At some point, you just need to at least chase Alu away from that forward position, force him to go back into the site. That way, you're keeping them honest. You're not allowing them to have a 4-man setup on A. And that way, you can actually go for an execute, maybe try to execute a fake, whatever you want. But until you do that, they're always going to have an advantage over you in terms of positioning and rotations.
Great support by Karrigan for the AWP, just allowing Alu to be the bait once again and popping out and taking everybody by surprise. That makes for another pretty clean round from FaZe. They've just got money, building on money, building on money, sleeping on green rugs. Envy buy time once again. Maximum loss bonus now. 5 rounds in a row from FaZe, if I'm not mistaken.
So I guess we're really looking to see if ENVYUS will actually chase Alu away at this point. It seems to be such an issue on their buy rounds.
Yeah, I think they're scared of the initial grenades and they're unable to have a good approach afterwards. Ooh, the mid push coming in. Don't see this every day, and they're doing it with no smokes either. You could drop a smoke at the bottom of mid, but they're looking for engagements in second mid and the bottom of mid. Again, look at the support. Karrigan and Alu, that's a very nice combination the way they're working out. And Rain is here to support the rifler as well. That's going to crush the round completely. XMS alone versus 3.
Yeah, the support for Boiler there is so important. Obviously, the T's thinking, okay, we have to rush down top mid. They may not have this position. We can trade and get onto the bomb site. It's the best play. But FaZe are looking for it. That's exactly... That just shows you that the aggression is well thought out from FaZe. Some teams are just like, oh, let's just get aggressive mid. But FaZe actually understand what their reactions are likely to look like. So that's a nice round from FaZe. And if there wasn't an adaptation from ENVYUS, we don't yet get to see it. Maybe this round.
It's really cool when you see a two-person combo of a sniper, something SK used to do really well on Overpass. So it's changed up now, but it was really fun to watch, and so they do it on other maps as well. But this is a nice look from FaZe. The numbers game, Envy looking to overwhelm quickly, getting an early kill, top mid. That's pulling both players away from the B bomb site. RPK still there lurking, and indeed, I don't know if he's got some sound cues. He's not really facing at the moment, but Envy seem headed back towards the B bomb site. RPK hiding behind the barrels, taking Karrigan by surprise, and now the charge will continue.
So they should be good to go here. Nico missing his flashbang, unfortunately, but he's going to try to take control of construction. It's quite possible he can get something out of this, and you can see if FaZe are waiting for the lurker. They know that Happy's lurking somewhere, and then they wait for that before they make the move. And having Nico holding onto construction allows them to take their time there for the lurker. So 3 versus 4, not an impossible situation for them. And if you consider that they have some flashbangs and smokes as well, they can have a good opportunity to get the retake working. Screen by Paul, though, is a problem. That's the first player down. Trey comes in. They can't really afford to go for Trey, so that's absolutely what needed to be done. Ali with a 2K in the retake, but now Nico is 1 versus 2, pressuring the bomb with a smoke. There's one player. Does he look for the next one? He was actually looking for it, but Sixer was a bit too quick for Nico in that situation, and it will be the round, but only one man surviving. And that is a great situation for FaZe, despite losing the round.
Yeah, they've got the opportunity to reset as they built so much money in rounds prior. Continuing with the 1 AWP, we have seen some notorious rounds from them with 2. Alu currently 14-7, doing more than enough for his team. Post pistol, it's basically 6-1, so pretty good look for FaZe at the moment. We'll see if they can get back to winning ways, though, as this would be quite expensive to lose 2 full buy rounds in a row by full elimination. 4 players over towards the A bomb site, so indeed Alu is going to be repeating the antics of Device on Banana, but will he be as successful versus Envy? It might be that they even watched that match and thought they'd repeat the same.
So did we get any banana pressure from ENVYUS? So far, okay, they're going to go back to the banana. Alu wins a battle against Sixer, just straight peeks. No real grenades to be used there to try to deal with Alu, and they're going to run to their deaths.
Yanko has both his hands on his face. How do you feel, Yanko? Talk to me.
I don't know. It's like, I mean, obviously we have X-ray, we have the big picture and everything, but how can you, like, over the span of 2 days, not realize what's hurting you the most?
And what's that?
Not having banana control, like just having an AWPer aggressively posted up in banana, controlling that whole side of the map, and you just can't do anything. Like, if you go away, you have 4 players, they're going to wreck you. If you decide to go B very late, he's still going to have enough time to fall back into the site for the rest of the team to come in. You need to force him back earlier, and that way you have room to work with. Or just go for what they did in the first gun round. Go for a super fast A execute while he still has an extra player with him for support.
Speaking of which,
they're just getting wrecked all the time. Like, nothing's gonna change. There's like nothing. Like, they're gonna keep losing until they exert some banana control.
I think it was Rubino who had a nice flash from before T ramp over the roofs towards banana.
Yeah, there's a flash from the cart, or where the cart was, if it's still there, that you can throw.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I need to try that out myself, see how good it is. Pistols for Envy now as the troubles towards B continue. Molotov's here, and Nico will eventually get the information, or will he, that there was a fast play attempted. Now the AWP is not there, trying to use the numbers against the AWP, but they're just going to run into the M4s. The silenced M4s will silence Envy in that round very quickly indeed.
I really don't understand the thought process of ENVYUS here. Are they thinking, you know, okay, so FaZe is playing aggressive op this round, they're not going to do the same next gun round, so we're going to do the same thing because they're going to change things up. I don't know, because I don't understand how any of the other things they've tried, how do they think it's going to work? Now Alu is just having some fun, playing very aggressive towards mid, but he doesn't find anyone. And we do see ENVYUS slightly more aggressive towards Banana. Now they have 2 players at the bottom of it. Sixer expecting Alu to be there, going for that op duel, but right now FaZe has 2 rifles there, half deep smoke basically, and they are going for that boost over the wall.
More problems for Envy. Unanswered frags from the CT side. Ali taking some damage elsewhere, but there are smokes down in mid now. So Envy will be forced to bide their time. Will continue to engage in Banana, and they will continue to fail. Happy looking for an entry, but it's a 3 versus 5. He's got AWP there, and FaZe are keeping them entertained with grenades of various types, shapes, and colors.
It's very difficult when you see that ENVYUS aren't able to make the adaptations here and sort of beating their heads against the wall repeatedly. FaZe just falling back into more passive positions. They have a 2-man advantage. 1 smoke left for ENVYUS, and this is so tough because you just have to basically go for wide peak. And there's a flick shot from Ali that deals with the wide peak, and Ali will finish off the rounds with the help of Rain. Not a single player dead. 10-4, a very decisive first half from FaZe, but it's ENVYUS which are perhaps our focus, or are the focus of our critique at least, considering that they don't seem to be able to make that initial that one adaptation that they need to make to progress.
And this is their first time out. After the first half is all but over. The problem is, like, it's not just like, the reason we emphasize it so much is if you're now a FaZe player, you know what's happening 100% of the time. Like, you know what to expect, you know what you need to hold, and what are all the possibilities based on your setup and based on what ENVYUS is doing, or rather not doing. And it's so easy to play when you're in that position, when you have all the control, like hitting the shots. You're always in a more favorable position when the opponent comes your way, and that is the dream basically. You're never in an uncomfortable position. You're always the one in control.
Is there a world where Existence ends up on this NV team somehow?
I could see that happening, because this is not like Happy is basically the only player left from that ENVYUS or even LDLC lineup, right? It's not like he has a lot of friends in this team, so they've deemed him the reason of not being able to progress anymore. And maybe RPK comes in and says, "Hey, I know this guy."
Hey, yeah, kind of betrayed him and sold one of his players.
But now we can be friends again. Because Existence is not going to do anything with that LDLC team. I mean, anything in terms of they're never going to be a contender for a title, like, ever, with this lineup. It's just not going to happen. Or I don't want to say ever, but at least in the next
10 years?
2 to 3 years, you know? So either Existence gets better players or he finds a better team before we see him, like, having an impact on the international scene. And also, don't forget, tickets are on sale at wembley.csgoleague.com. You can come and see Dan and James in person, maybe myself as well, if I perform well in this TriCast in the next 10 days.
You've been reading my emails. Karrigan with some flashes and a smoke grenade. He will keep Envy off top mid for a very brief moment, but RPK will manage to escape for a time with a headshot onto Alu. That's a lovely one from Sixer as well. Happy joining the fray. And it's going to leave Karrigan alone, needing an ace. Wow. That's a good start. Both players coming from mid. Does he hear some movement starting to walk out? Oh! I was so close. He got a 1v1. No! No. That was close, man. Karrigan made it hard. He made him work for it.
Damn it.
He made him work for it. But it's there.
That reaction was like, you have a dog and you just saw the dog just left something, like a present in your shoe. That was like what your reaction was there. So, no! It's happened again.
This has not
Turd in my shoes. Happened again.
This is not my situation right now.
11-2-5. They pick up the pistol at the very least, but as you can see, someone has dropped from the server. And that means we have to wait for them to come back. XMS is gone. And this is interesting, though, because obviously FaZe, they did not get a situation where the bomb was plantarized. So we're going to see them on the Tech-9s. And Karrigan, he got so many frags. He's actually got a Tech-9 armor, helmet, and full grenades, which is quite cool in this one. So we're going to see some grenades from FaZe as XMS returns and the match resumes. I'm curious what the plan is. Ali on the Glock. Still though?
I wonder if
Glock armor.
Karrigan's got 19 frags, by the way. He's pretty close to Alu. I remember when he was in-game leading for... I don't even remember what Astralis were before they were Astralis. I've completely forgotten, but...
Dignitas.
Was it Dignitas?
TSM.
Oh, TSM,
TSM,
right.
yeah.
And then Dignitas. Oh my god.
So
TSM.
when he was in-game leading, back in like FaZe at stage 2 when they won that, and he top frag on the entire tournament, and he was the in-game leader, and he was a duoper. If we're going to see those heady days once again from Karrigan, those were good days, man. Those were good days. These might be bad days for Envy. Oh, that is dirt in the gut. Unanswered, unresponded frags coming in from the FaZe clan. Now RPK sailing into pit, or towards pit, to help his teammate and take control of the bomb. Happy getting his bell rung, but now it's Keo versus 3. 2 of the 3 players, however, are damaged. He's on the high ground, he's exposed, and now he's dead. No plant for FaZe.
The round started off great for FaZe, but I think once they got those 2 kills on Arch, the players coming quad should have probably waited a little bit for their teammates to wrap. That way, they, you know, if they die, the kills would immediately get traded. This way, they went in too early, they got killed, and then the players, the ENVYUS players, could refocus, or shift their focus rather, towards long and close out the round. So small mistake, but probably stemming from them being in a big lead and just being a bit careless.
Having fun.
Winning is fun, Dan. Winning is the most fun for me. That's the most fun I can have in a CS game, is when I win. Do you know when I have the least fun?
When you play with James.
When do you have the least fun, Yanko?
When James tries to knife people in a 1v1 in the pistol round, and I have to double equal.
That's reasonable. I'll say that much. It is reasonable. What is unreasonable, though, is asking FaZe to win a round where they are so ill-equipped. Happy with 1 HP. He is going to be top mid on his own. Better be careful, sir. The bomb is in control of the CTs. I think Happy may go towards. Just keep an eye on second mid. Make sure there's no flank come in. But for 30 seconds, there's only so much Kiyoshima can expect to do. And at some point, he's going to want to die so he gets his loss bonus so he can buy the next round. Happy still poking and prodding, though. But again, the onus is on Kiyoshima here, really, to... well, 15 seconds. He has to find someone to shoot him. Otherwise, he's got $2,000 going into the next round. And Happy will eventually put him out of his misery. The ironic thing is, what if he... like, does Kiyoshima want to actually shoot his gun at that point? I don't think he does. He's just running like, please, somebody shoot me. There's a scenario, there's a world where one day the CT is just running away and a T is chasing him and neither person is shooting. Imagine.
I am imagining it.
It'd be quite funny.
I think it's highly unlikely.
I'd be the CT doing that. That's why it's a damn shame that I'm a commentator, Yanko. Because I'm ready for these next level plays. I'm 5 years ahead of the game.
I mean, it's only a matter of time, James, before someone makes you an offer, and you know that's more lucrative than your commentating job and being the creative director of FaZe Media. And thinking of great things like breaking pots. Chasing chickens.
Chasing chickens. Should see the videos we haven't made.
Back to you, Dan.
Yeah, we got FaZe. They've actually got significant map control. Unlike ENVYUS, not only do they have top mid, but they also have top banana, which allows them the ability to go banana to B or actually to attack A. And the response here from ENVYUS is at the moment to have 4 players on the A bomb site. And I think they're looking towards an information play now. Yeah, indeed they are. RPK is poking his head out here to see what's going on. He will get killed though. And this is quite well played by FaZe because they have actually managed to occupy the CTs for quite enough time that the push is coming into B with 3 players. So this could work out pretty well. They could isolate the lone player on the new box, which is actually XMS, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed it is. And he's got the, he's that second orange just now with that UMP of his. Six trying to get a look in with the smoke, video smoke, but it's not going to happen.
It's a bad mess.
It's a bad miss.
And XMS now, can they find him? 1 frag, how many is it going to be? Only 1, but the smoke has gone away. They took too long to get to that point, and Six cleans up the rest. So ENVYUS, they'll actually break FaZe's money a bit, and FaZe will have to half buy.
They're catching up.
It's his op actually called Magic Stick.
I think Kenny gave it to him.
Really?
I'm guessing so.
As a parting gift. Like
Kenny can't part himself from his Asimov because I think
it's the source of his power.
I think if he performs poorly with a different orb equipped, it just affects him mentally, and he's like.
Isn't the orb the magic stick? The Asimov, the magic stick.
That's the original Magic Stick.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then he had the Dragon Lore.
And he gave it to Sixer.
And he's like, now you can suck. Here you go. Take this plague.
My Dragon Lore is called Touched by God.
I don't remember having a Dragon Lore in my inventory.
That'd be abused by God. Kishima's got 2 lovely headshots here from the pit position, but he does not have control of the bomb. No Kevlar, so aim punch is going to be an issue, and look, he's opting for the deagle. Smart boy. He knows that he needs them 1 deags because he's got no Kevlar.
What's your orb called, Yanko?
My op doesn't have a name.
Oh.
I think the only skin that has a name tag in my inventory is my knife. It's the M9 Rust coat, and the name tag is not as rusty as me.
Ah, nice.
My one's called Rust in Peace. My Karen bit rust coat.
I think you and Kirishima would make great friends. His deagle is, I can't remember, it was something silly. He's definitely going to buy it at some point, so we can check up on that.
My op is named Railgun.
That's awesome. You could call it nail gun as well.
Nah, gotta be the Railgun. Although, could make the AK the Railgun, but never mind, we'll take a look into that to see what FaZe are doing here. They are actually taking top mid again. They don't actually have banana control this time. That said, Nico is moving up there, and it's very passive from ENVYUS, so he should probably find his way all the way to the top without issue. Oh, that's a nice angle from Happy. That's a nice angle.
Ooh, Shadow. Shadow's been spotted, but he's still going to shoot him straight in the face. Just was not showing enough for RPK to engage. That is really painful and frustrating. Carrigan making his way through, but surely Sixer here's a grenade being primed, still in the smoke. Will he re-emerge though? Carrigan blind again, it's up from the CTs. Gets the kill regardless, but the smoke disappears. Scream will pull one of the numbers away. But the advantage is still with the T's. Scream moving around to short now. Ooh, Nico not having any of this nonsense. Next semester decides it's time to save.
That was an interesting play from RPK, 5v4 situation. Sure, you see the shadow, but you just decide to push by yourself towards mid. Well, why not have Happy, if he had a flash you in or something like that? Just threw away the advantage that ENVYUS had in that round. And that is the first round of the second half for FaZe Clan. Will we have more of them to come then?
Yes.
Okay. Back to you, James.
3-round lead now for FaZe. Indeed, it's the first round of the first half, second half. First round of the second half. First victorious round of the second half, because it's not the first round of the second half in general.
And the first half is already over.
Indeed, that is also true.
And this is a game of 2 halves.
It's a game of 2 halves, Yanko and Dan. Sixer has the AWP, and perhaps he is going for a timing play. Nope, he's not going to go for the full engagement. Taking the alternative option. Again, it's very, very difficult to see through Molotovs when you have a scope. But Ali will deliver a kill. But it's still a question mark for FaZe, and that question mark is, where is the AWP? Where is Sixer? Où est le Sixer? And he's currently on Arch. You what?
Ilya. There he is.
There
it
indeed.
is.
Indeed.
There is Sixer. Ilya Sixer. So FaZe have Banana control. They have a firm grip of Banana at the moment, and it will be the push onto the B-bomb side very shortly. Scream with a deagle by New Box. And he's got some fire to worry about. Getting a little bit toasty up in that B-bomb site. And Nico will deliver a swift headshot, put him out of his misery. And he'll be placed into one of those very conveniently placed coffins. Hiroshima, just by the bench to T-spawn. He's going to catch one of the CTs. Why not?
Why not?
Sixer and RPK left. RPK, he is smelling the flowers.
Those flowers look reasonable. They look quite reasonable for, you know, for digital flowers, if you will.
In the source engine.
Yeah. So if the rumors are true and we go to source 2, will we have better flowers? That is the
I would
question.
hope so.
I respect the color. The color's nice. It's like a pastel color.
Yeah.
It's a nice pastel color there.
Salmon red.
I feel like you could, you know, get some linen trousers on, take a walk around the gardens and admire the flowers.
Do you have any linen trousers? You don't, do you?
I went to, I did the bull run in Pamplona, dressed in linen, and there were no hotels. It was completely sold out, so we had to go to Pamplona the day before and sit on a bench all night in linen, freezing our asses off. Drunk, because we didn't know how to ask for water in Spanish. So the closest thing to water, yeah, but they thought we were saying vodka. So they just kept giving us vodka every time we asked for water. My friend was Rex, and they gave me a pint of vodka, and I just gave it to him and didn't even tell him. I was so drunk, I was like, here's your water. So he drank some and just spat it out on the floor. And that was that. Anyway.
What a mate you are, James.
9 rounds for Envy, looking to make their way to double figures in this round, but they have an aggressive FaZe looking for entries at top mid. And Envy may be forced into passive positions early. Sixer towards the arch. The library is also an option. And again, in New Inferno, we haven't really seen Orpers standing on the couch in library as one used to do on old Inferno. Sixer. Oh, that is a cheeky frag. That is a very cheeky frag indeed, but maybe it's enough to win a team around.
Starting to push in through quad, but they are not really finding success. FaZe. Bomb needs to be collected. They've got a minute to play with. Nico and Kiyoshima. Well, if you've got 2 players left, those are 2 pretty good players to rely upon.
Who would you not have left?
Sorry?
Who would you not like to have left on FaZe?
That's true, actually. Just all of them are pretty awesome to have in any clutch situation like this, especially Rain.
But he's dead.
Quite well known for these spots.
So Nico will have to suffice.
Yeah, I guess Nico will have to suffice. Yeah.
I have to make do.
Have to make do with Nico.
I'd like Nico and Rain because they played the 2v2 tournament together.
I think they're the most clutch players on the team overall, I would say. I mean, they're all very clutch, but anyway. Clutch factor aside, we've got Scream on the bomb site. Now Nico's in a 1 versus 4. He's got 10 seconds to go. He's got to basically just kill everyone now at this point. There's no way he's planting the bomb, to be honest. He's not going to be allowed to do so. Nade in the face and shot as he tries to run away. Well played on the advantage by ENVYUS. And they will creep up to 10 rounds now as FaZe are looking at their last buy for a little bit if they aren't able to be successful here.
See these trees in CT Spawn? These big tall trees. The family house in the south of France has those trees straddling either side of the house. It's really awesome. My dad planted those trees. They're brilliant.
Did you plant a tree?
I didn't plant a tree, no. But I helped him plant some new ones recently. 13 rounds for FaZe. Envy keeping it close, but can they take it over the line? Can they steal a game away from FaZe Clan, proving to be one of the strongest teams on the planet at the moment? On the planet, guys. Happy with an off angle. Good for 2 kills. Looking for a 3rd one, but he will be naded into oblivion. They'll need dental records to identify the body. 2 versus 4. Alu holding a line towards Library. Can't get the first kill or the second shot. The third one will be good though. RPK just biding his time, just waiting as it's Alu alone now. RPK will... ooh, look at that position on the pillar. That's glorious! That is a great spot for the CTs. Very nice off angle, which will yield an 11th round for Envy. And the money of FaZe has been broken. It is ropey, but Rain will buy regardless.
I think the rest of the team should just half buy. He did have more money than the rest of them, and yeah, they can bait for him. That way, they can still inflict economical damage, even in a round perhaps, if he has a good round. Now they know that there were 3 players in Banana early. They could hear 3 grenades explode, but now it's XMS by himself. If they go through this smoke, they have a good chance of overwhelming the bomb site, but already, as I say, this Scream is slowly edging back towards B. He's in that flash position, now moving over to Coffins.
Will the pop flash come in time? There's a pop flash into Pool, allowing Scream to face at the same time. Easy for Scream. Very patient bursting, and that is a brief anti-eco ace.
Well, Ilya Scream.
What can you say about that?
For ZTC.
Scream, one of the few players in the world who can ace even anti-eco with only 20 bullets from the M4A1.
With no spray.
Yeah. He had another one on overpass. I can't remember who it was against a while back with G2, I think it was. Saw Nitro yesterday have one against Renegades.
3 players with 10 bullets as well, the first 3 players. Which is really nice. 2 3-bullet bursts. Clinical stuff, but is it enough to win the round? They're still behind. RPK up there with 22 kills. But Alu still steaming ahead with 26, leading the server.
James.
Hello.
I remembered the name of Kio's Deagle.
Okay.
In your phase.
In your phase.
That's very bad. Don't laugh like it's good. Laugh like it's bad.
And his the technical pause is that his ping is high.
I think the FaZe logo
Tsushima.
would be good for a keyboard design.
Phase logo?
Like the colors, the stripes.
Mm.
You could do like a FaZe keyboard.
Why don't you make one and then sell it to a FaZe fan?
I could do that. But what if nobody
That's
wants
all
to
you
buy
do.
it? What if nobody wants to buy it?
Well, you can. That can be your 9th keyboard then.
I've spent a lot of time building keyboards recently.
And watching 24.
And watching 24, yes.
Jack Bauer is so badass.
I have another 2 keyboard. I have a keyboard coming tomorrow and a keyboard case coming tomorrow as well. So there'll be more. The sexy purple keyboard will finally arrive tomorrow.
I need a keyboard, but a normal one.
Define normal. What, a full-size keyboard?
Yeah,
Why would you want that? That's disgusting.
because of the numpads.
But you can just hold one button and suddenly you have a numpad in a 60% keyboard. I got to teach you about layers, man. You don't need this in your life, Yanko. I can save you. Just join my cults. Just contribute 15% of your salary each month. And you can have a 60% keyboard
Reasonable.
and no numpad. But a numpad at the same time. A virtual numpad.
Just like a girlfriend, virtual girlfriend.
I mean, I can't help you with that. Maybe Dan can. It's virtual girlfriends. I'm sure there's a service out there somewhere.
Up goes FaZe into towards quad, top mid. And perhaps they'll have more success this time. Once again, ENVYUS with a pretty fast adjustment, just 4 players on A. FaZe can, of course, double back. They don't have deep banana control, but there's no one there to stop them. Just taking the battles, and it's actually Ali with the AK to win those. Trading pretty well, though, are ENVYUS, and they had 4 players here, so you have to expect that. Happy now alone on the bomb site against the 2 remaining players, Nico and Rain, in this 2v2 clutch. Plenty of time to work with 2. The rotation's in. They must know Happy. It's quite a common position. He gets crushed in the corner. XMS finds himself an opening. The bomb has not been planted. 30 seconds to go. And Rain will collect that bomb. And he will deposit it. He will plant it. He will prime it. Nice rotation from XMS. Will Rain expect this? Oh, I think, did XMS see him? He must have. He did indeed. Great position. Molotov to put him out of position. Surely this is XMS's frag! What? How does Rain actually just run out and instantly kill him? Oh my god, stolen away. 14 to 12.
Told ya, if you want
FaZe.
someone in a 2vx situation, it's Rain and Eco.
Indeed it is.
I wonder if he had jumped on the rail of the balcony, if he would have seen any of Rain's head. We may never know. We may never know. It remains a mystery. Both teams, though, will have a bye. We are into the dying rounds of the entire match here on Inferno, and indeed it has been close for Envy. Ali not going to overcommit through that smoke. That might have been suicide, but we'll never know. He has taken the safe route. Again, on that building behind the car, just through that smoke, there is a closed window, and if you're in the middle of mid running up banana, and you throw to the right of the window, it will land inside the sandbag. So if there's any CT standing behind it, be it a HE grenade, a Molotov, or even a flash, there's the window just to the left of the crosshair. So throwing it to the right. Practice it at home, boys. It's a very, boys and girls, it's a very easy position for multiple grenades, and will make your life a hell of a lot easier.
So I feel like FaZe might be thinking about even going to maybe do a double back this round. They haven't done it in a while. Usually ENVYUS come out to meet them just to try to trade out on the A side of the map, but the ENVYUS side have 2 players, sorry, only 3 players on A this time instead of 4. But it's also like a split onto the A site now. Balcony and quad side a player on Arch also. So it'd be hard to stop actually for ENVYUS because they don't have anybody actually on the balcony itself. Oh, that's a great spray. So perhaps not hard at all. Happy finding a great position from behind the smoke, and the spray from RPK also fantastic. Crushed. FaZe getting crushed, Yanko.
That was a sick play from Happy. Great smoke, sort of a one-way when it comes to apartments, and it's very interesting to see him perform from this position because he's been a B player pretty much for the entirety of his career as we know it. So another great round from Envy, great hold, and now FaZe forced on an eco, and even their next buy is not going to be pretty. It's going to have, I think, around 35 to 4100. So a lot of Tech 9s, UMPs are going to be in play. Probably just 2 or 3 AKs.
Forcing the T's out of position is FaZe's grip of this map. Slipping. Difficult for them. The next round is going to be very, very important. No damage done for them in this round. Pretty difficult spot. You see XMS of 6.5k, and now you can see the money on the rest of the team. Regardless of what happens, Envy will be buying in full in the next round, but FaZe have decisions to make.
I think here is where FaZe should probably go for the banana control and later on for a B execute, because Envy isn't really adamant about maintaining banana control throughout the round. They will deny you access to banana early on, but once they spend their initial smoke, the incendiaries, they are going to fall back towards the bomb site. And seeing as how FaZe will have limited utility and equipment, it is going to be easier for them to penetrate that B bomb site rather than A. If I were ENVYUS on the other side, I would go for some aggression with Sixer, maybe even second mid. But actually, we see FaZe are going for a half buy. They don't even spend all their money. They are going to try and steal around here, but they're actually playing for overtime. Interesting. Wouldn't you say that?
Yes.
What about you, James?
Yeah, their
about
money
you,
was really,
producer
really
Patrick?
ropey. I respect it. What?
What about you, producer? Just going along.
Observer Connor, how do you feel about that? We don't have Connor camp today. We should get it back next week though, because it's going to be good weather on the weekend, which means he's going to be pink again, like an undercooked chicken.
Like a salmon.
Like a salmon, yeah. Pink like salmon. 14-all, and again, the money was in a difficult spot, so I think it's pretty cool what FaZe have opted to do. for this round, essentially playing for overtime, but still trying to win this round. Is there a flash? There is a flash, won't be deployed though. Six are missing the shot. Won't be as successful as Alu in that position. And speaking of which, oh my god, Alu's got an AWP. And there are smokes down on the site. Scream trying to keep hold of construction, not constriction. But mate, it's Envy being constricted. FaZe, they're in a 4 versus 2. Again, Envy can buy regardless, so they've got to go for this. But this is a very strong spot for the FaZe clan.
XMS gets one, but his health is low. RPK is with him. Yeah, RPK is getting shot straight in the face. And that's it. That is that. FaZe take round 15. And what a weird situation. It was also really weird that we didn't see Sixer get a pick off there. It looked like his crosshair was actually on. I was quite surprised to see no frag there. And FaZe having
That's just a huge blunder from Sixer. Not even the fact that he missed the shot, which is unbelievable in itself, but more so the fact which position he decided to play, what angle he took. He does not need to play to get kills from that position. He needs to play from a position where he can buy time for his team to rotate in if FaZe actually decide to push him. And he couldn't get either done, just dies, gives away the AWP to Alu, and basically, I mean, just loses round for his team. No other way to say it. Shouldn't have played where he did.
Still a strong buy for both teams again. Envy had the cash, so there'll be no weaknesses in that regard for this one. FaZe with a 3-man focus on the B bomb site for the time being, and indeed there are 2 CTs there. XMS on the high ground. Kishima, is he looking for the wrap? Sixers in position, and he will hold things down there for now. Is that a clue as to what FaZe's intentions are? They're, ooh, I was going to say continuing to push, but smoke dropped down in timely fashion, and they will be holding position. Scream will hear the damage from the Molotov, and at least one player, and that's going to force FaZe away, it seems. The bomb going down Banana once again. Karragan's made his way into CT spawn in the meantime, and Sixer has no idea.
Karragan could just open up the round massively, win the round potentially, unless Happy goes nuclear from Boiler. Someone's looking for it, but there's the trade. RPK left alone on the bomb site. Frags are raining in here for the FaZe side as the bomb can now be availed to be planted, and it will as FaZe take post-plant positions. And the rotation comes in from Scream and XMS. Now it's going to be a difficult situation for them to play with. The utility is a single flashbang. XMS working his way from quad. Scream at the same time working in from library side. Here they go, trying to combine there. Good opening kill from XMS. Scream now finds the player in pits, but there it is. FaZe coming out to play, and they will win 16-14. Perhaps they'll feel as though it's much closer than it should have been.